Welcome into the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. I am your host, Harrison Graham. We're going to get into some winners and losers for the Chiefs after their preseason opener against the Chicago Bears. Chiefs did fall 19-14, but led at halftime 14-0, and the starters looked really sharp on both sides of the football. So I think all in all, it was a good opening performance in the preseason. Patrick Mahomes put together a nice drive. Chris Jones looked like a beast, and all is well in Chiefs Kingdom. So we'll get to some winners and losers in just a moment. But first, grade the overall performance, A, B, C, D, or F. I know the Chiefs lost, but I'll give it a solid B. Maybe the reserves didn't play as well, but when the starters outplay the other team starters, I think that's a very, very good thing. So I'll give it a solid B performance. It's preseason. There's going to be some sloppiness, but I thought all in all it was a good effort from Kansas City. Give us your grades, A, B, C, D, or F. All right, let's get to some winners to start, then we'll get to some losers. The quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, he looks like he's in midseason form, guys. He looked really, really good for KC. 6 of 7, 60 yards on his lone drive, threw a touchdown pass to Blake Bell, who unfortunately left with an injury. But Mahomes looked really sharp. I'm trying to even remember what the one incompletion was. I can't even remember it because he was so accurate. Connected with Travis Kelce for a nice completion over the middle. Had a nice little scramble drill throw to Marquez Valdes-Scantling. You know, I think the one incompletion was toward him in the end zone, just out of MVS's reach, now that I remember. But all in all, he looked sharp. The starters look good. I think you guys should be pretty pleased. All right, Chris Jones next up. Wow. Stone Cold Jones looks dominant, guys. He looked really, really good in his first preseason game of the year. He looked like a guy poised for a big year. He beat Bears right guard Michael Schofield at least twice, was consistently in the backfield in the snaps that he got. That was impressive. That was really good. And now that he's got Carlos Dunlap, Frank Clark, George Karlaftis, who looked pretty good in his rookie debut, around him as well, I think he's going to really, really have a big year, and that's a good thing for Kansas City. Predict it for us. How many sacks will Chris Jones have this season? I think it's going to be double digits, 10 or more. Let us know in the comments how many sacks you think Stone Cold is going to have here in 2022. How about Skyy Moore? Skyy Moore, who, you know, he didn't have any big flashy plays, but he had a nice little end around for a few yards, caught a couple passes, caught a couple punts. He just looks smooth, doesn't he? He looks the part. He looks like a guy who's not intimidated from going to the Mid-American Conference all the way up to the NFL. We've heard about the hype in training camp. He did not look overwhelmed at all. Again, he didn't make any huge plays, but he just looked comfortable, and I think that's a very good sign for a young rookie who's expected to play early on. Another receiver who's not on everybody's radar, but maybe he should be, is Justin Watson. Justin Watson, who Patrick Mahomes specifically named during OTAs a few months ago. We're like, Justin Watson. We're like, oh, this dude can really play. Apparently, he called Brett Veach and was like, who is this kid? I like him. Well, that translated to the playing field. 5 catches, 45 yards, caught a strike from Shane Buechele for a touchdown up the seam. He looked good, man. I think he's looking like a guy who's going to legitimately fight for a roster spot here. Now, he's going to continue to have a strong training camp period and a strong preseason over the next couple of weeks. But if he's able to do that, could he be wide receiver 5 on this team and make the roster? I wouldn't completely rule it out, especially if the Chiefs think he can contribute on special teams. If you're a real one, get your Real One t-shirt. We launched the Real One movement at Chat Sports a couple of weeks ago, and we got the Chiefs edition of the tee today, and we're having a competition on different channels for who sells the most Real One t-shirts. So pick one up, chatsports.com/RealKC. That link will be in the comments. It'll be in the description. Represent Chiefs Kingdom today, and if you are a real one, go ahead and get your t-shirt. All right, with winners, there are losers, and Ronald Jones. I don't know, guys. I don't know. 4 carries, 1 yard. I don't think we even saw him until the second half of this game. I'm telling you right now, I think Ronald Jones is getting cut. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is this team's starter. Jarrett McKinnon's listed as the backup. He didn't even play in this game as a veteran. Isaiah Pacheco checked out early, which, you know what that tells me? That he is on this roster. Ronald Jones, RB4? Is he going to make the team as an RB4? I don't know. Maybe they trade him late in camp for a late-round pick. Not good, folks. He does not look the part. He looks slow. Like I said, 4 carries, 1 yard. He's never been a guy that catches the ball that well. It's crazy how things work out. He was brought in here, in my opinion, to push Edwards-Helaire as a starter. he may not make this team. If I had to guess right now, I think he's getting cut. Subscribe to the channel for more Chiefs news and rumors coverage all season long. We'll continue to bring updates from training camp with practices just about every day. And then, of course, we'll have a couple of Chiefs watch parties. First one coming up this Saturday, and then one more for the preseason finale as well. So subscribe today and share that link below, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. I will continue to provide you with the latest Chiefs news and rumors. All right, Josh Gordon. I want to root for him. I do. I do. I would love to see him make the team and contribute. But the reality is I just think he's fallen behind. Like a guy like Justin Watson, I think has got to be ahead of him at this point. 3 targets, 0 receptions, had a catch, and it was overturned because his second foot didn't come down in bounds. I don't know, man. He's 30 now. He's not going to give you anything on special teams. I just think it's an uphill battle for him. I wonder if he could get cut and sign with another team. I'd be happy to keep him on the practice squad, and then if injuries pop up, call him up. But, I don't know if it's meant to be for Josh Gordon, which is unfortunate because I think he deserves a lot of credit for not quitting and not walking away. He could have walked away from the NFL many times, but he loves football and wants to make it work. I just think this wide receiver room's a little crowded right now. I mean, Darius Fountain, Justin Watson, Cornell Powell. I don't know where Josh Gordon fits in at this point. Who do you think, or who would you rather keep right now? If you had to pick one, who you keeping? Type JG for Josh Gordon, type JW for Justin Watson. I keep Justin Watson. I think he can give me something on special teams, and he's younger and hungrier. I'm going to go JW, which sucks to say. All right, one more. Dustin Crum. Look. He's a QB4. This isn't a major focus, but you watch him play and you're like, this is not an NFL quarterback. I mean, he had 6 completions for 18 yards, guys. He's not challenging anybody downfield. He can run around a bit. I just think with Shane Buechele as your QB3, I guess if he makes the 53, you could keep Crum as a 4th quarterback on the practice squad, but just doesn't feel necessary. We'll see him a lot more in the final 2 preseason games, I'm sure, but he's just not a guy that's going to factor in the league, in my opinion. I think we'll see him in some of those spring leagues very, very soon. All right, so just to recap some Chiefs winners and losers from the preseason, some winners here. Patrick Mahomes looks really sharp. He's ready to go. Quite frankly, don't think he needs to play the rest of the preseason. Chris Jones, he looks dominant. I'm excited about him. Skyy Moore, Justin Watson. Moore obviously is going to have a role on this team. Could Watson? Stay tuned. He made some plays. Some losers. Ronald Jones, I think his roster spot is very much in jeopardy, same as Josh Gordon, a couple of guys that, maybe a few months ago we thought would play a bigger role. Not sure that's the case right now. And then Dustin Crum, like I just mentioned, just not an NFL quarterback. And that's okay. It's very hard to be a quality NFL quarterback. All right, that's it for today's show. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. We will be back tomorrow with our Chiefs Report live stream, Monday, 3 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock Eastern, depending on where you're watching. If you made it to the end of the video, you are a real one. If you love the Chiefs, comment real one below, and we will see you next time here on the Chiefs Report.